Travis, you guys are 8-1. Steelers are 9-0. You're not going to get a chance to play them in a regular season. How important is it for you to try to get that top spot? Because this year, only one team is going to get a bye in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it that much more important to do your job throughout the season. And unfortunately, we've lost to the Raiders in a game that, me personally, I think we should have figured a way to win it, but figured out a way to win it. But at the same time, hats off to them in our previous matchup, and we get another opportunity to get after them again this week. And just got to take it week by week and just take care of business.
Well, you mentioned that game coming up against the Raiders. Apparently, and I'm sure you've heard by now, the bus ride that they took, the victory lap around Arrowhead Stadium after the time, your only loss after they beat you guys this season, has become somewhat of a story. Andy Reid said it's not his style. I covered his entire career in Philly. I know it's not Andy's style. He's loosened up a little bit, but he's still, kind of a stoic kind of guy. You like to have fun. So what did you think of the whole thing, the bus ride, the victory lap? Does that even matter to you?
Like I said, hats off for getting the win. You could do whatever you want, after the game. It's up to you guys. If you want to, circle around the stadium one more time in the airplane, be my guest, man. They came in and they got after us at our home, and we got to do better. We have to do better, and it's on us to make sure that, that doesn't happen again.
A lot of football players will tell me if you need any extra motivation or bulletin board material, you're in the wrong profession. You're already in trouble if all that kind of stuff matters. You kind of feel that way?
I think something like that could kind of get you excited to play him again. I'm not going to sit here and say that it doesn't, but at the same time, I'm not looking for it. I'm looking at the film that I put out there from the last game, knowing that I wasn't as accountable as I should have been, and I want to be better, and I want to get better for my teammates and coaches because of it. And that's just my mentality on week in, week out football is, you got to eliminate the distractions. And unfortunately, at times the media can be a distraction, and you just have to make sure that you got the right mindset going into it.
You and your brother Jason have both been all pro. He got his Super Bowl ring in 2017. You got yours last year. What was the relationship like growing up, Travis? Were you guys ultra competitive? And how close are you now? Do you check in on how the Eagles are doing, especially when you're on a bye week like you were last week?
Oh yeah, man! I catch every single minute of Eagles football whenever I'm able to. I got a little bit of gangrene in my heart. Shout out to the Philly world. But at the same time, growing up, it was everything you could think of and it was every second of the day. If we both got a free day, it usually started with something in the house, like cards at breakfast or playing chess at the table while we were watching TV, to going outside and playing a game of just, football, to basketball, to baseball, to making a game in the backyard and having fun with those type of things. Just any way that we could find a way to compete, we were up for it, and we enjoyed the process through it all.
Who gave the better parade speech?
I'm gonna give that to Jason, man. He's got a way with words, man. As I'm sure everybody knows by now, but he's a very passionate guy, and every bit of his passion and his love for his teammates showed on that day. And couldn't have been more proud as a brother to see him at the top of the mountain winning a Super Bowl and showing love to all of his teammates, man. It just shows you what kind of guy he is.
Travis, I've spoken to a few other players who've partnered up with Old Spice to visit schools in underserved communities and talk about the Black Boys film. I know you've done that now. What did you first think of the film, and why was it important to you to be part of this?
Well, it's important for me because of just my upbringing. The people around me that I love, that I cherish as friends, as family, people that I call family of color, and it's been something that I've seen as a kid, and it's very upsetting. And I think what the Black Boys documentary has done is it showed honesty and how vulnerable it can be. And it's just a beautiful way to get people to start to discuss the matters that are at hand socially in this world. And I think it's a great way to start that conversation.
How important is it for yourself, for someone who's white, to be out there doing this, to be talking about it, to be on the forefront, to be participating and telling other people to have these conversations?
I think it's very extremely important. I mean, I just kind of touched on it. There's people that I love that are a minority descent, whether it's African American, uh, Indian, Hispanic, even the Jewish population. But I think specifically in this instant, it's especially with what's going on socially, the social justice matters that we've had at hand over the really the course of time. But recently, it's starting to become more of a discussion. And with that being said, there's going to become an uncomfortable time between two different races that feel two different ways. And I think it's my job as a white man or as a white male to be able to step up and say, listen, something is wrong here. How we are viewing the African American people is wrong. How we're treating African American people is wrong, and there needs to be something that's done about that.
Travis, I want to ask you, I know you just signed a new contract and you have plenty of football left, but have you thought about life after the NFL? I know you got to play an astronaut recently, so maybe acting, maybe in your victory speech, in your parade speech, it sounded like you used a couple WWE wrestling references. Would you go that route, like kind of Gronk did for a year before he came back? Like, what would you do?
I couldn't tell you what's in the future for me. I know that I'm taking it day by day in this football. I know the being on screen talking about football is something that comes genuine, so you might see me do something like that. I played a astronaut or a wannabe astronaut in Moonbase 8 on Showtime. Probably not going to be an astronaut anytime soon based off of that, or an actor. But we'll see. We'll see where life takes me. I'm fortunate to be where I am right now and having the opportunities that I've been given.
What's it like playing with Patrick Mahomes? You ever sit back and just watch him and you're in awe, amazed by the things he does?
Man, you can't. You gotta keep trying to match his level of play, man. He ups the success of everybody around him because of how talented he is and how hard he works. He's aware and very understanding of a lot of situations that happen on the football field. And when you have a player that can, athletically make all the plays as well as mentally be prepared for anything that comes his way, he naturally just makes everyone better. And you can't get caught up in, the wow aspect. You just got to know that guy is going to make some crazy plays and that we got to get the ball downfield because it can turn into the movies real quick if you want to start admiring his talent on the field.
How would you describe Andy Reid? I mean, I know Big Red. I know the kind of guy he is. But for those who just don't know, who don't get to see him, he's been doing this over 20 years, finally got his ring. I know that meant so much to you guys to be able to give him that championship. How would you describe, not the coach, but the guy?
Man, he's almost got almost like a father figure kind of role in the building, and it's because everyone loves him so much. I mean, he's got an unbelievable way of he has an unbelievable way of getting the best out of everybody. That is relating to all different aspects and all different forms of life. And that's what's beautiful about this game is you bring in all these different forms of life and different walks of life, and they have to play together. This game is not won with one guy. I mean, you can't even say, I mean, if you look at the Arizona game that just happened, the Arizona Bills game, it took an entire team all the way down to the last play. And even then it took a couple guys to make that thing shake. And that's the beauty about the game is that it takes everyone. I think Coach Reid does an unbelievable job of relating to everybody and getting the best out of everybody. And he's the ultimate leader.
Travis, man, thank you. I know you got to run. You got a lot to do. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Oh, shout out to Old Spice and the 10-year commitment that they have to increase high school graduation rates with young Black males, man. It's an unbelievable deal to be a part of.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.